Well, good evening there, boot campers. I pray that this video clip finds you all healthy and proactive in your endeavor to maintain health in a really crazy, mixed up world that we're living in. Anyway, kind of launching into today's topic, which is sustaining health after boot camp is over. Um, Boy, I just started writing down a whole list of notes and stuff. It just came to my head. I took the thought, and I mean, listen, it's fun to have boot camp, and there's no doubt that it helps, and it's a great help knowing that every week, and there's a certain accountability there that causes you to maintain a healthy lifestyle, or and even just the excitement, but. I have to tell you, there comes a day and time where the celebrity status kind of leaves you. Reminds me of the first time I ever ran my first marathon and getting done with 26.2 miles. You do hit a certain pat on the back and people are wow. But then after that comes what they call the marathon blues, and you've got to learn how to go on after that. And a lot of my life, I've endeavored to try to maintain a right attitude toward health, because it is an attitude. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. We've talked about that. We've probably joked about it. And we have to remember that it's unprofitable for you to be healthy, so that means that you have to have a vigilance about you. Not everybody cares about your health. And I think that there's a certain red flag that you have to put up with that. But in terms of sustaining this healthy lifestyle, you've got to continually remain vigilant. And there's a saying that says the only difference between the rut and the grave is the depth. And I've often said that I really believe the rut is worse than the grave, because in the grave you can't do anything. But if you're in a rut, you do have the power to do something. But it's far harder to get you out of the rut, because if you've ever been caught in a rut, you can push yourself up and you slide right back in. And that's kind of like how our health goes. We get going, and then something happens, or just a situation of life happens, and we slip right back into the same old habit. And these habits are strong and powerful. They become strongholds in our life, and they're hard to break. But if you will spend 3 weeks, they say, and I've known it to be true, that if you'll spend 3 weeks of diligently breaking a bad habit and replacing it with a good habit, that you will get victory over it. And that is the key, is continual effort and fighting toward maintaining your health. And remember, no one else is going to do it for you. So some of the things I wrote on this list here is, if you're going to do this after boot camp is over, the education doesn't end. You've got to continually go to these different websites. Man, with the internet, there's so much information available to us. From Dr. Mercola to Hallelujah Acres to Jordan Rubin's book, The Maker's Diet. The new one out is a phenomenal documentary, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead by Joe Cross, on juicing. And I've been doing a lot of juicing myself and inspired. But you can't just watch them one time. You've got to watch them again and again and again. You've got to get books, and Dr. Colson, Deadly Emotions, and the 7 Pillars of Health. You've got to continually be reading and encouraging yourself, because by and large the world is not going to encourage you. And many, even within your own family, sad to say, are not going to encourage you. And so you have got to take charge. And it's sad but true. And one of the things that you need to do is, as much as possible, make friends that are like-minded. Because most people are not going to be like-minded. Most people are going to look at you and think you're crazy. Or they're going to say goofy things, or they're going to say very uneducated things, And I've dealt with that time and time over the last 25 years. And when they say it, I've just learned not to take it personally, and I've learned just to kind of shrug it and go on. And I kind of prayed and kind of sometimes wonder. I say, well, wait a second here now. I've tried to maintain a healthy lifestyle for 25 years. I've only been sick 4 times. And sick, I mean in the bed. And for the most part, all this sickness, I mean, a lot of people in our congregation got hit with this sickness and they were in bed. They lost 3 or 4 days. Some of them, they kicked this lung stuff for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And it never touched me. And 25 years, sick 4 times. I've run 9 marathons. I've run a 50-mile ultra marathon. I got up this morning and ran 8 miles. I'm 50 years old. And you kind of would think that people look at you and say, wow, you know, I want to do what he's doing. And my boast is in the Lord. You know, I'm not boasting and bragging on myself, but that's what you want. And so I'm just trying to live it. You know, you can't force feed it, but I know what I got to do for myself. And if you're going to maintain and sustain your healthy lifestyle, you've got to get a vision for yourself. I remember one of the last times I was sick was when my daughter was born, my firstborn daughter, Lila Rose. She was born, and I got sick. The stress of life had hit us, change of life, and I was on my back. And I remember my wife kind of nursing me back to health, and I was on my back for a week. And I remember looking up at her, and I remember thinking to myself, man, I'm no good to my baby girl this way. And I'm no good to my wife this way. And I'm no good to my church this way. And I'm no good to my friends and family this way. This is going to change. And from that point on, I began to make incremental steps toward, I was eating better. I was taking vitamins, and I was doing but that exercise thing. But from that point on, I began to incrementally increase my exercise to the place where come 2003 I ran my first marathon, and I've never been the same since. And it's so much a part of my life now. If you talk about habits and strongholds, it's so much a part of my life now that when I don't do it, I don't like it. Matter of fact, my wife knows if I go a day or 2 without running, my wife will look at me and she goes, would you please get out and go for a run, because you're going to be a crab all day if you don't. So, I mean, it's just got to become such a part of the fabric of your life. And you can't look at it as just a diet. And, well, boot camp is over, and now I can go back to my old ways. No, no, no. This is a new you, and you are forming a new person out of this. Another thing I put down in my notes here is you have to believe in the miraculous. And I personally believe that this body is an incredible vessel. Within every 3 months, you have a brand new bloodstream. Within every 11 months or so, you have brand new organ. Your body has renewed itself. All their cells have renewed itself. Within a year to year and a half, you have a brand new body. So the potential of changing where you're at is constantly there, and it's with every decision you make. And so when you feel that urge to go through that McDonald's drive-thru, you need to weigh these things out and understand that you are making a choice to either do something detrimental to your health or helpful to your health. And I can't. I'm not going to say that you can't ever eat all that, but so many people eat it every day, their whole lives, and they're slowly but surely killing themselves. And if you've got a good immune system and you're exercising, you can handle that once in a while. But you can't when you're not taking care of yourself. So you have to believe and continue to believe in the miraculous power of this body, because it is powerful. It is very powerful. And if you'll treat this body right, it will always respond in a reciprocal fashion to you. It will treat you right. And then one of the last things I have written down here over all the things I just kind of covered is you have to have a vision that goes beyond the now, the momentary taste of that hot fudge sundae. You have to see that it's a life, to me, it's a life or death thing. And that's what I tell people, because some people say, well, how do you do it day in and day out? And the hardest thing I can get people to do is to do something consistently. When I try to help people and I try to coach people and I try to get them, I can't get them to do it long enough to get the power of it long enough. And a lot of it's just the vision. You got to see past the momentary eating of that hot fudge sundae and look beyond the long-term reward, you know, that you're going to gain by the exercise and eating right and the rebuilding of your cells through live food and good foods and proactive choices. So, and I look at them and say, it's life or death to me, you know. So with all these things in mind, I hope that I've helped you with your boot camp and some of the information that I've given out. I know that you've had great trainers. You know, Bob and Shirley are awesome people. So, you know, it's in your hands. I guess that's the final thing I'll close with. It's in your hands. It's been great to be able to share with you. I apologize for not being able to get down there. Being who I am, I'm a high school teacher, I'm a minister, and like last night we had our kindergarten graduation, our church school, and next week I got my high school graduation, then we have a big canoe trip that we go through. So it's just May's one of those busy months for me. I apologize for not being able to get down there, but maybe one day our paths will cross and we'll be able to shake hands and hug each other's necks, and I'll be able to see that you are still proactive and you are maintaining this healthy lifestyle, maintaining and sustaining. And so, God bless to all, and remember, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, it's an attitude. Take care.